Do you have any dolls in your life, like celebrities or like people you know personally that you're really defensive of?
All of my trans femme friends, yeah, extremely.
I think that's right. But the reason I ask is because last week, there
Talking
was
about the Lex post.
No, what's the Lex? One thing at a time here.
Okay, sorry.
I was talking about those pictures of Hunter Schafer that went viral on Twitter. She just dropped some new pics. She looks amazing. Obviously, she's Hunter Schafer. And
damn, how have I not seen this yet?
a couple like cis dudes quote tweeted it, and one of the really viral ones was like, "Sign an NDA, no cameras. Are you doing it? Be honest, fellas." And obviously,
What do you mean?
Everybody
Cameras
like,
on. Let them see.
Everybody's like, calling him out for all of the reasons that's a bullshit, stupid thing to say. But then there were also a bunch of cis dudes just regular fantasizing about how hot she was and just like simping. Not even simping, just like, treating attractive women the way that men on the internet treat them, which is a touch misogynistic always, obviously. But then I saw some T-boys on my timeline coming after even the men who were pro fucking Hunter Schafer very ferociously, because they're just like, watch the way you fucking talk about her. That is my queen. That is my goddess. Do not objectify her. She is not for you. And I thought that was really funny. And someone I know personally was this archetype for me. They listen to the podcast. They'll know who they are. I love the ferocious doll defender archetype of T-boys so much.
I would say I am one. Yeah, don't look at her. That's for me.
I think the only difference is you're relatively timid and non-combative person. Like, I do believe
I'm more of a worships the grounds that a woman walks on,
truly
rather than like, I'll kill you.
Yeah. Which is a whole different style of thing. It's funny. I was going to take a long time to say what you said in a very quick time, basically. But yeah, both T-boys very welcome among the doll communities. But I don't really there's a lot of T-boys in my life right now. And since moving to LA, I don't really have that boy that is like, don't fucking touch her. I will throw down right now. That is my goddess. I will kill you.
That could have been me, Lav.
Do you want it to be you? I don't think you like to get into like confrontations like that.
It's like funny in like a yappy dog way.
True. I do believe. Don't get it twisted. I believe you stand on business for your dolls, and I believe you will stand up for us when the time comes, push comes to shove.
I had like a girl, like I would absolutely be swinging.
Right. I feel like you're kind of like a purse dog that's just like really dedicated, like super dedicated, almost the way that your cat is to you. Where it's like, you're my everything, like follow you everywhere, like bonding onto you. Like you're that type of like ladies man, not the like stands on business for women, like step aside queen, I can handle this type guy. Even though that sentiment is obviously there. I could see you like jumping in front of a bullet to save your queen.
Yeah, or also just like, I don't know. I feel that way when I'm with a group of trans girls and I'm like the only trans guy or whatever, or like trans mask. What I was gonna bring up though is the Lex post from like I feel like it was last week. There was like a lesbian turf on the Lex app posting like AFAB for AFAB, and I was in those comments white knighting.
Hell yeah. The T-Boy Defense Squad was in full force.
Yeah. It's too many turfs on that app.
That's really interesting. Was she posting for like, I didn't see this. Was she posting for like hookups or like roommates?
Yeah,
or...
hookups, but she's like weird. If you're on like LA Lex, there's this cis lesbian who will make deranged posts like, I need huge boobies in my mouth, AFAB for AFAB, I love pussy only. And she's like, she's also like, can't drive, can't host, it's just me and my dog in here. My ex left me for cocaine, I need boobies in my mouth, AFAB only.
Wow, that was actually kind of awesome. Right up until the end there, I was right behind her. That's really funny. I feel like that's the Lex equivalent of an LA Dolls on Grindr will be familiar with, especially if you're in the Valley. The
Hola,
man
mommy.
who just messages "Hola, mommy" to like every doll in the Valley every couple days forever.
Mm-hmm.
I have like months and months from living in the Valley of just "Hola, mommy, hola, mommy, hola, mommy." So funny. This world is full of such fascinating people.
Yeah, it's so crazy, like, where's the shame? Where's the embarrassment?
Right, like posting...
Like...
Some of the Lex posts that have gone viral, the, like, my, like, dog only likes AFAB people, so looking for AFAB roommate only. Like, the posts like that is, like, they're trying to give themselves an excuse. They're trying to cover up that sort of trans misogyny. But in that case, it just sounds like she's going mask off with it.
Yeah, people really... I saw a post that was, like, need an AFAB therapist.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I love that they enabled comments on the Lex app, and it was like same day they enabled that feature. I opened the comments and someone's like, why you need to know your therapist's genitalia?
Yeah, I mean, it's good that... I feel like it's good for the community that they enabled comments on the Lex app, but I feel like it's bad for people who used to really like posting on Lex, because now they can get called out for their stupid bullshit.
Well, you can turn the comments off.
On your own post, you can choose
Yes.
to turn the comments off?
Yeah.
That's sick. Why give someone a bullhorn and let them shout in the street if no one can shout back at them?
Well, that's kind of what my favorite thing about the Lex app, like pre-comments, even post-comments, is people will just make their own posts to be like, look at that idiot down there.
Yeah. Pre-comments, I saw a bunch of posts.
Get a load of this guy.
Yeah, just like actively referencing Lex drama that I was never like on the up and up on.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
That's my name, by the way.
Welcome
Lex.
to episode 12
I think so.
of the Brain Frot podcast. As previously stated, your name
Is Lex.
My name is Lavender. And it has been like 2 months since we recorded a podcast. It's been since Emily Stone was in town.
Mm-hmm. We're so busy.
Yeah. I may have said twice on the Brain Frot Instagram story that we were close to recording, and I believe both times we did not record.
Just edging our audience.
I think for what is the third time in just 12 episodes, my voice is blown out.
Wonder why.
I think this is the first time it's from deep throating.
Okay, we're just saying it, I guess.
I mean, I'm not ashamed. Excuse me. The first time was when I was sick after Rolling Loud, and I don't remember why. It's the one where I was in Portland with Ani, or maybe the one with Olivia, where there's another episode where I had like scratchy vocals. I lose my voice a lot, and so I'm dealing with a little bit of scratchy throat, but it's also been so long since we recorded an episode that we're finally like both home at the same time and don't have any plans for once, so like we have to do it.
Yeah, I've been kind of hermit mode lately.
All the better to be recording podcast episodes. Maybe we'll get a little prolific with it and get back to like early standards.
Don't get ahead of yourself.
Well, if you stay in hermit mode, maybe.
No.
Damn, okay. Just say you fucking hate our listeners. You feel nothing but contempt for them. You want them to die. You want them to be embarrassed and sad and alone.
I like my listener, but okay, I do like our listeners, but I do want them to feel embarrassed.
Like as a kink thing?
No.
Then you must not know our listeners. Why do you want them to feel embarrassed?
I don't know. I think this podcast is cringe.
It's your podcast.
Yeah.
Make it less cringe.
The very nature of it.
Why do you think it's cringe?
This is
meta.
I just think having a podcast is cringe.
Well, if you're like a white man, yeah.
I'm almost one.
You're a Filipino T-boy.
Non-binary.
That's so far away.
Half white. Half boy.
Half white, half boy is awesome. If I got you a hat that said half white, half boy, would you wear it?
Yeah.
That's a banger. Joke's on you, I'm going to make it fucking red with white text.
No.
JK. I would want you to actually wear it. Half white, half boy goes hard. You should trademark that.
Yeah, it's kind of...
For all the mixed AMAB INBs out there.
There's quite a few.
AFAB. Mask INBs. Transmask INBs.
Oh, we gotta stop saying these words.
Male socialized. Are we in trouble yet? Do you want to transvestigate some people?
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a point of contention or confusion, I guess, that we ran into. I asked our Instagram followers who we should transvestigate. And that's when I learned that term has a double meaning depending on whether or not you believe that we should have rights or not. So I've always used transvestigate as like when someone has like eggy behavior, where like transvestigating is like gathering all the egg things they've ever done and making the case that they may not actually be cis and that it wouldn't be that surprising if they came out as trans one day. But through that post, I learned that for like right-wing, like crazy MAGA people, transvestigate means taking literally anyone, Kyle Rittenhouse, for example, and going into weird articulate detail about his features and trying to provide proof that he's actually AFAB or something like that.
Yeah, they're doing like phrenology, but it's like if they're doing that to anybody, then like somebody could do that to them, right?
Of course. I mean, I'm assuming it's people with no public profile doing it, or else, you know, the transvestigation beam would just be turned right back around on you. We're not here to transvestigate people that way. I'm not here to prove that, like, JD Vance is actually AFAB or anything. We're here to transvestigate people the OG way.
To clock eggs.
And so we were given a variety of eggs from our followers. But I think this all started with Porter Robinson.
Yeah, because we were talking about Porter Robinson on the last show or another...
I think it was 2 shows ago. Because we went to that clothing thing.
Oh, yeah.
Where Porter was giving away clothes from his closet. He gave you some pants. He gave me some old merch from the Virtual Self era. I actually got the chance to see Porter at the Hollywood Bowl a couple weeks ago, and it was awesome. But there is... I don't know if this theory is just among trans people, but even if it is, Porter has a lot of trans fans, and a lot of people just believe in the Portia Robinson theory.
Yeah, I love that it's like well established.
Oh, definitely. Like you can just bring up to almost any trans Porter Robinson fan, just say Portia, and they're like, "Yep, he's an egg."
Yeah. Plus, like, okay, the clothing style. I think that's an egg behavior. Like, I don't know. He likes to wear like skirts and stuff, which is cool. Like, you can be a guy that wears skirts. But there's something quite effeminate about him in a non-binary way.
Yeah. So to look at the Porter case in its totality, I would say the vulnerability in his music, especially on his new album, doesn't help the egg case because it's kind of giving at points a like, something's not right, but I can't quite put my finger on it.
Yeah.
And of course, that's when a lot of trans people go, I had similar thoughts. I diagnose you with transgender.
Isn't there a line in one of his songs that is like really eggy? It's like, I don't know. I'd have to pull it up from one of my friends who's the most autistic Porter Robinson fan.
The deepest transvestigator.
Yeah.
I don't know specifically, but I will say, I don't know. I just think it's like the sort of bright bombast of his music. The pitching of the vocals definitely is something that a lot of trans femme artists and like hyperpop do. I see it. I'm not here to say that anyone is or isn't trans, but I will say in the case of Portia that Porter, if he does come out, I think the writing will have quite fairly been on the wall for a long time.
Yeah, I'll be cheering.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Love to have him on the team. Absolutely love to have him on the team. He'd be one of the best gets for us, I can imagine.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Is it problematic to say all this?
Yeah, definitely. They came at us when we did it to Kurt Cobain, and that's a way more common trans theory than Porter Robinson. And Porter Robinson can also hypothetically hear this.
That'd be cool.
Do you think he'd like it? I think he'd find it funny.
I feel like there's no way he hasn't heard the Portia Robinson theory yet.
Surely. I would say the thing it always like reminds me of is this is so random, but Shawn Mendes, when he first broke through and everybody going crazy with all the gay rumors, and then him talking about like how much that like hurts his psyche or anything.
Yeah.
So when we do this, I'm trying to approach it in a way of saying like, I don't want to put any pressure on Porter Robinson. I'm just saying like, we know egg behavior because a lot of trans people wear eggs and we hang out, in T4T spaces, and eggs reach out to people who have already come out as trans. So like, we're pretty cute at recognizing egg behavior, and Porter Robinson is a celebrity that at the very least displays some eggy signs.
Yeah, he has a lot of trans fans, I feel.
That probably doesn't help.
Yeah. If anything, it's more evidence.
Yeah, it's pro Portia evidence for sure.
Who's next?
Do you want to go T-Boy?
So you brought up Lorde, and I've been really curious to hear what you have to say about that.
Yeah, the Lorde T-Boy thing goes back a really long time. And it's one of the ones that I think has less compelling evidence because obviously she has a lot of lyrical angst in her back catalog. But when you look at it, none of it really spells transgender to me. I mean, you take a song like Liability, like her femininity and her like perceived fragility in that sense is a really important part of the picture of that song in terms of her describing her emotions and what's wrong. And so like, to me, that's always been a thing where it's like, because she doesn't really project herself as sexual as a lot of pop stars, then a bunch of people are like, T-Boy. Like, if you weren't a T-Boy, you'd take them titties out or something. Like, her pussy is not on the Solar Power cover.
Yeah, well, this is kind of like when people, would say, like, oh, like, if you're a girl who's not into boys, you're lesbian, Or...
What?
Like...
Is it... What do you mean by that?
Like, not being, like, sexualizing your body, like, femininely is, like... akin to like when you're younger, like when you're in school and you don't like boys.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see what you mean. If you're like not dating, you're like not trying to appear attractive.
Yeah, then like people think you're gay.
I see the comparison. I think Lord's like lack of sexualization has more to do with her own permanently rocky relationship with fame. I can't really imagine her being very T-boy with it. Or at least if she does, I can say I didn't see it coming. Though a lot of people do. This is a pretty popular theory.
Honestly, I feel like it's just more body dysmorphia with her or something.
Perhaps. I mean, the fucking Girl So Confusing remix sort of gave some very public, very vulnerable credence to the body issues she's experienced.
Mm-hmm. If we're gonna talk about like female celebrities that dress like T-boys, though, we would have to talk about Billie. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like I was gonna bring up Billie anyway because that was on the list. The thing with Billie is like she was underage when she broke through.
Mm-hmm.
So it was weird how many people were sort of speculating on her and her sexuality. And because she's been famous for so long, it's almost a Justin Bieber type case where it's like it's hard to believe how young she still is. So, you know, everyone finds out things in due time. It's not surprising that it took her so long to come out as lesbian, which she did earlier this year. But there was speculation that she was a lesbian for years and years and years.
I thought she was bi.
I think she said some like, I mean, maybe she is bi, but she made her whole MO this year. Like she came out as a lesbian in a magazine interview, and then Lunch, which is a fucking pussy eating anthem. Not that you can't do that in a fucking bisexual way, but she's made a big deal this year. I mean, literally in the fucking Guess remix too. Not to bring up Charlie again. She's like, Charlie likes boys, but she know I'd hit it. Like she's made a very big deal this year, loudly pronouncing her attraction. That was like a I told you so type moment because there had been so much speculation for years because, you know, she would wear these big baggy clothes. Like she would dress in a lot of fashion that we conventionally associate with being a lesbian. So there's a bunch of people just like licking their chops waiting on Billie to become the newest lesbian. And so I would argue, and this is interesting, this is a whole nother can of worms, but I would argue that in coming out as a lesbian, she has freed herself fashion-wise, and maybe even in her own writing, to act more clocky to like in a T-boy sense, in like a transmasculine sense. Like if you see what she's been wearing recently in some of her music videos, and you know, she can still pull off femme in like a Birds of a Feather music video type sense. But she was definitely giving like fuckboy lesbian who's about to go down the he-they pipeline a lot in 2024.
Yeah.
Do you think that obviously, okay, we're in agreement that the signs are there. Do you think it will ever happen?
No, like I don't know. It feels a little, I know people say that Billie is kind of cultural appropriative, and I feel like she's kind of T-boy appropriative. Like I don't think she's like that. I think she is just like a fuckboy lesbian.
There's a lot of, in her defense, there's a lot of overlap between fuckboy lesbians and T-boys.
Sure.
However, that's interesting. She is culturally appropriating T-boy culture.
Well, I mean, not just T-boy culture. Like, people say she appropriates, like, black culture.
Perhaps a little bit. Do you know who's culturally appropriating, and doing an awful job of it, by the way, culturally appropriating doll culture?
Let me guess.
You're never gonna guess.
Okay, who is it?
Kid Cudi.
What?
Honestly. His, like, whole interest in cartoons and anime and the way that he dresses and his obsession with Kurt Cobain, he is literally cosplaying trans femininity in an awful way. Kid Cudi.
That's so funny.
Kid Cudi is basically acting like the trans girl from that trans mask guide on how to pick up trans girls article.
Oh, does he play Fallout New Vegas too?
That guide would be great at picking up Kid Cudi.
That's so funny.
If anyone is culturally appropriating trans femininity, I think it's Kid Cudi. And I do not think that he is a trans femme under any circumstances. If he was, he would be better at it.
Yeah. Who else is there?
Some people said Hosier. And I
non-binary, I guess.
Could be an NB, but I don't know. Like, people say that because lesbians love Hosier.
Mm-hmm.
Love him. Obsessed with him. And I think his cis-manishness, and even in a sense his straightness, is a part of the reason that lesbians are so
He's
obsessed
straight?
with him. I think so.
Cool.
I think he's just a straight Irish guy.
Huh. I guess, yeah, I don't know. Irish guys are just, like, built like that, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Take Me to Church famously is about a shorty that's so fine he is, like, moved to religious proportions.
Mm-hmm.
So, not sure it, as Todd in the Shadows would say, demands that ultra serious tone or that, like, music video, but I completely understand. I think with lesbians and Hosier, it's like I can put myself in his shoes. I can be him. Because for a guy that I don't think has any transgender to him, his songs have a distinct sapphic angst sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think that's why lesbians love Hosier.
It's the yearning.
Yeah. Maybe I could see Hosier being a little NB with it, but I don't know. To me, that's not a extremely compelling suggestion that we received.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like his hair, you know?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, he's pretty with it. I understand. He would make my trans femme wish list. I'll say that. But I don't see the evidence.
Have we only listed musicians so far?
Yeah, it's funny. I was going to say that because I'm looking at the list that people gave, and Hayley Williams is also on there.
Yeah,
That's another person that I think is closer to a wish list than evidence.
But, like, I feel like I could totally see it happening. Like, Hayley Williams coming out.
You don't think it would have happened already? I don't think she's one to hide herself. So you think she hasn't realized yet? If that's the case?
I feel like I've seen her, like, seen posts recently about her, like, wearing some, I don't know, probably wearing, like, a trans pin or something. I don't know. Or, like, I don't know. I also see people, like, talk about voice, like, if they notice that a female singer's voice is, like, lower, like Hayley Williams or Miley Cyrus, but I think that's just, like, from smoking, probably, with Miley.
Yeah, like you think they're saying that they're projecting the effects of tea being taken privately.
Like they're microdosing or something.
Interesting.
Which, like, probably not. They're probably just, like, smoking or, like, voice training, something. I don't know.
I could see that with Miley just because of the, like, Plastic Hearts sort of flash dance 80s era. But I think she might have quelled that speculation with her newest album, which is just full of kind of dry summer pop jams.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Hayley Williams is an interesting one. Not to bring up, like, the music side of my professional life, but I have gotten a lot of shit over the years for not being the biggest Paramore or Hayley Williams fan. I told a story to one of your friends recently that happened to me years ago, where I reviewed her garbage solo album, Petals for Armor, and someone posted the school that I went to publicly on Twitter afterwards because they were mad.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
The Hayley Williams stands are they are fucking serious. I was at the record store recently with two of my trans femme friends. So not even to say that this is a T-boy squad of protectors. And I did a little Paramore shit talking, as I'm known to. Not the biggest fan of that band in the world. And that did not go down well with either of the dolls that I was with. So, again, that's why I think maybe there's some really compelling evidence out there that I haven't seen. But to me, Hayley Williams feels like a God, I wish she was trans, more than a egg behavior type trans.
Yeah, actually, I did a quick Google, and it seems she might be straight. So
I think she is straight.
Yeah,
doesn't she have a husband, or maybe a previous husband?
I guess so. It's crazy. It's just crazy how many of these. Sorry, I bonked myself. It's just crazy how many of these celebrities are like just straight, I guess. You remember when Gaga was like, "Actually, I'm not bi."
Yeah.
Did she take that back?
She's just born that way. I don't think she ever took that back. I think she's just a straight woman.
Ugh. She was the original transvestigation.
Oh yeah, like in the bad sense of the word.
In the bad way.
Yeah. And she definitely played into that. I mean, she's kind of goated for playing into that, honestly.
Yeah, she stood on business, as one might say.
Yeah, the other people, I mean, I don't know why this didn't come up sooner now that I look at it, but Kristen Stewart.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, yeah. Because did you watch Love Lies Bleeding?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm sure know that is a piece of evidence for
her
sure.
Character isn't even the one that's taking testosterone, but you can totally feel that, like, if there's any celebrity that's microdosing tea, it's Kristen Stewart for sure.
Yeah, I could totally see that. I mean, this is one case. This may be the most compelling case of all of them, because she could come out tomorrow and be like, yeah, I've been on a low dose of tea for 5 years. Now I'm coming out properly. And I would be like, yes. Yeah.
That'd be so awesome.
That totally makes sense. I can see it.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be so awesome. Do you have, I'm going to put you on the spot here. Do you have a celebrity where you're like top of your wish list? Where you're like, if we could have them as a T-boy, that would be the biggest get for us.
Does that have to be a T-boy?
Let me frame this worse.
Okay.
Have you ever seen the Chappelle Show skit where they do a racial draft?
No.
There's a super famous Chappelle Show skit where all of the different races get together and they have a draft, like the sports league does a draft, but they're drafting biracial people. So it's like black people go up and they pick Tiger Woods, and it's like Tiger Woods is 100% black now, or stuff like that. Imagine you have the first pick for the T-boy delegation of the draft, and you are looking at all of the celebrities out there, and you're like, which one of these, as far as we know, currently cis women, can I recruit to Team T-boy?
And
you're welcome to think out loud.
I can't pick a T-girl.
That's my job. I'm from the doll delegation.
Okay, cool.
And we're picking Timothée Chalamet.
Okay, well, slow down. I haven't even started to think about this.
Okay, I'll say that would be my suggestion for the pick, at least. I would accept A$AP Rocky.
Oh, wow.
Because I think she would be the most beautiful fucking baby girl doll in the entire universe.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful boys. I'm just picking beautiful boys, so beautiful that they would make beautiful women by default. But also, Timothy is like a superstar, a young icon. Like, he would be, that's a person who could come out as trans that would be so big that we could not ignore the conversation that came in the wake of it. And sure, it would come with a lot of like transphobia.
It would be a mess.
Bullshit and stuff. But we would get fucking Paula Atreides. Imagine making her D-trans to be in the next Dune movie as Paul again. Sick. Anyway.
Just make her trans.
That's what I'm saying. Just Paula Atreides. That's such a twist mouthful to say.
I'll be honest, like, I'm struggling, like, because I feel like I could just say anybody.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Well, yeah, you just named like your favorite celebrity.
Not necessarily. I just think there are people that would make great dolls because they're already such beautiful men. You know, like they're pretty.
Mm-hmm. Well, like, I don't know. Kristen Stewart would be a really big win.
A huge win.
But
that's almost one where it's like she's almost there already.
It's like obvious.
You know, like she's so close. Like, you could hypothetically, if you're in the realm, you could take anybody, you know. You could take Anya Taylor-Joy. You could take Sabrina Carpenter.
Some of these are just not fitting. Like, I can't see Sabrina Carpenter as a T-boy. That's like the most feminine woman I've ever seen.
But then I like imagine, you know.
Okay, since you brought up ASAP Rocky, now I'm thinking about Rihanna.
T-boy Rihanna.
That'd go crazy.
Can you imagine the two
Actually,
of
it'd be
them?
so over.
The two of them, still a couple, having both transitioned, would be milestone. I mean,
like, I think the earth would change.
yeah, most definitely. Like, we would remember that as a cultural touchstone for centuries. Like, Rihanna and A$AP Rocky coming out at the same time. Are you kidding me? That would be like the Great War, or like that would be like Julius Caesar type shit for the history books.
I like this hypothetical we've come up that will never happen.
But imagine.
I don't know who else. I like T-boy Rihanna would have so much swag.
Oh, Rihanna's a great answer, actually. I never would have thought of that, but that's a fucking banger. I feel like we can safely let's choose, since we're the delegations for the dolls and T-boys, let's choose to split the first round pick and joint select A$AP Rocky and Rihanna to switch places.
Okay, deal.
Done. Shake on it. Speaking of gender, there's another thing.
What about gender?
There's another thing that we wanted to bring up.
So this was just like something related to this came up because I was looking at the Lex app, as I mentioned earlier, and I also saw people will horny post on there and whatever. So I saw someone posting asking if anyone else like had a misgendering kink. And this is something I've seen before too, just on like, I don't know, like NSFW Twitter or something, of like trans. I'll get into it, but usually I feel like I usually see trans guys have like a misgendering kink. And like, disclosure, I'm not a kink shamer, but I want to psychoanalyze this.
So this is fascinating, right? This is why I stopped you in your tracks and said, save this for the podcast. Because misgender kink is a really divisive issue amongst dolls. And I had only ever in my entire life seen dolls have misgendering kinks. And it goes in line with a lot of stuff like sissy stuff and like fail male stuff and a lot of these fringe fetishes that dolls tend to have in their pre-transition era that paint their identity as less succeeding in femininity and more failing in masculinity, which is very controversial. And there's a lot of dolls who privately still find that sexy and erotic, even deep into their transition, and even as socially presenting confident women who privately will indulge with some of those fetishes that playfully align with misgendering kink. So we had this conversation at the start of this, and I was talking very briefly about from a trans femme perspective, and you were like, what about T-boys? And I was like, I have literally never once encountered a T-boy with a misgendering kink. So like, we're coming at this is so interesting because it's like you're kind of a T-boy gooner. You probably follow a lot of T-boys on Twitter. Like, you're in the trenches with what the T-boys are turned on by. And I'm that way with the dolls, too. Like, I have all dolls in my fucking DMs, horny, posting their fantasies all fucking goddamn day. So, like, let's talk about misgendering kinks.
Yeah, so what you said about, like, failing, like, you said, like, trans girls like it because it's, like, they're failing at, like, being a woman. Is that what you said?
I think it's a lot, more often it's, like, the reason it's controversial is because it paints being a trans woman as failing at being a man.
Oh, okay.
Rather than succeeding at being a woman. You know, like sissy kinks and stuff like that. It's all about like demasculinizing, like stripping away conventionally masculine traits. And so it's like you're like a failed male first and foremost before you're like a trans woman, which is obviously for very obvious reasons, very controversial, and probably undermines a lot of what trans femmes try to accomplish for themselves socially, that perception, which dates back decades and decades. But yeah, I think it's most commonly framed amongst trans femmes as like early in transition, before you really find your womanhood, a lot of dolls find themselves turned on by the idea that they're failing at masculinity.
That's funny because I would say that for the trans guys that I've seen, it's also being turned on by failing at masculinity, like being turned, like, it sounds so silly to say, but like being turned back into a woman by like some crazy dick or whatever. Like, I feel like the misgendering kink among trans boys that I see is usually tied to breeding kink also.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Because of, like, you know, mpreg.
Yeah.
So I think there's an extra interest, like a little more sauce to the T-boy misgendering kink, I guess.
Right, definitely.
Like
a little
very
more sauce.
Like very based in, I don't know,
Sort of biology.
Yeah, biology or whatever.
That's fascinating because the trans femme sort of misgendering king also deals in chastity a lot. Talked about on the show before. As a sort of like robbing of masculinity. There's a lot of cringe, like sissy captions type content that frames like, you know, like real man, big dick, top, like fake, like failed male, sissy girl with a U, you know, like small dick, like where's chastity, like soft forever. Like that's kind of the framing of this. Not that there's anything wrong with any of those qualities inherently. You know, I'm very pro chastity, but it's also like you can just wear chastity as someone who's succeeding at being a girl. You know, like it doesn't have to come equated with a failure of masculinity. It's cute.
Yeah. I think it's interesting that the common thread between trans masc and trans femme misgendering is emasculation.
Yeah, really interesting. Like interesting enough that I think smarter people than us should take a look at it. It probably says a lot about patriarchy or power structures that I'm not sure I'm sharp enough to articulate on the spot, but that's really interesting.
Yeah, because also, like, I feel like a lot of the time the, you know, I guess I would say perpetrator of a misgendering kink
is a man.
Is, yeah, like a cis man probably. Like a lot of the time.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I guess if the common thread is emasculinization, then the most common perpetrator would be someone who is succeeding at masculinity and displaying, you know, a lot of very obvious conventionally masculine characteristics.
Yeah, because like I'm not gonna do a misgendering kink to someone else personally.
And so in no sense And you can be honest, does it turn you on?
Like, no, like I don't want to be misgendered during sex. Like, it's like dysphoric, but I get for other people it's like sexy, I guess.
I think I feel the same way. Like, I kind of feel like even as like a degradation and humiliation girl, like I'm still a girl with it. Like, I feel like anything that you can say to me with the framing of you are this way because you're failing at masculinity, I'm sure the content is probably fine. Just change the framing. Like, it's just the framing of failing at masculinity, because, like, I don't know, it doesn't turn me on because I'm not trying to be masculine. Like, if anything, I'm fucking high femme, so, like, obviously I'm failing at being masculine. It's kind of like by design, so it doesn't really scratch that same itch of like degradation and humiliation type stuff.
Yeah, I will say, like, I do like to play with gender during sex. Like, it's fun to, like, play with different, like, names that you call your partner, like good girl or good boy and whatnot. But that's, like, not in this, like, misgender kink is, like, it is more for humiliation.
Yeah, like, I have trans femme dolls who are, either still really in touch with their mask side or just really butch, that are like, yeah, you can call me daddy. And they like being called daddy.
Yeah.
But that doesn't really scan to me as misgendering kink.
No, that's more like dom sub.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I like
Sorry, I got dizzy all of a sudden.
Stop. And like, yeah, I like being humiliated, but it's like that one, like, misgender kink a little too topical, I think. A
little too topical.
A little too current events, I don't know.
So you wouldn't do a like role play where someone takes away your access to hormones?
Oh, buddy. Look at the date we filmed this.
Oh, yeah. Guess what happened a few days ago? Anyway.
I promised we wouldn't talk about it.
Not a politics podcast, but yeah, I get a little too topical when the threat of dysphoria and being misgendered publicly is waving over your head all day.
But honestly, like, I would like to hear more from people who have misgendering kinks, like what it is that turns them on about it, and like specific things about it that turns them on, because I think I've like only touched on a specific way that I've seen online. I'm sure it's not always breeding.
I feel like it would be hard to find someone willing to go on the record about stuff like that, I feel like it's kind of a mask on fetish for a lot of people. Yeah, maybe that's just dolls. Maybe T-boys would be more willing to talk about it.
I don't know. I mean, I saw this on the Lex app, so it's like
it's a public platform.
But like, nobody's real on there.
The breeding thing is really interesting because it's like your body can sort of betray you in that way.
That is kind of part of it,
if
yeah.
If you're a T-boy, that is sort of fetishizing the idea of being misgendered. Like, this is kind of fucked up conceptually, like, for me to say this, but hypothetically, from the perspective of a T-boy fetishizing being misgendered, like, the idea that even if you're literally not, because T has made you infertile, conceptually the idea that like you are breedable, you are impregnatable, is sort of a betrayal of the conventional view of masculinity.
Yeah.
So, man.
So like I guess I kind of get it.
You're like kind of convincing me of the argument.
Because I mean, I guess now we're just boiling down to like an extreme dom sub relationship. Or whatever dynamic, like being so submissive that you're breedable, and then
I also kind of feel,
and
like
then
it's like
reaches around because of like
it
reaches around because of like society's like misogyny. It like becomes like it can manifest as a misgendering kink, maybe.
Right. And like part of the sort of vicious undertone of all of this is the idea that it's degrading to be feminine and
Yeah.
degrading to be womanly and degrading to have conventionally woman female characteristics, you know? Like the idea that you can toxically fetishize the capacity to get pregnant as being inherently degrading because it's a quality conventionally held by women.
Yeah, and that's kind of why it like ties into like emasculation. Mascul. Did I say that right?
Emasculation, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a little toxic, but I like it.
Well, I mean, a lot of kinks, like if you really like look into them, like are I guess toxic, but it's like that doesn't mean like you're toxic. It's just
I agree with you. I'm also not necessarily sure that's 100% true, you know. Like, I think that, in particular, the misgendering kink, as we've explored it, is sort of playing off of and dependent upon the structure of patriarchy. And I feel like a lot of kinks are not socially weaponized in that same way. Coming from somebody who's also not a kink shamer.
Mm-hmm. So like I don't know. I guess
Did you have an example in mind when you said that?
no, I'm kind of forgetting everything I've said so far, to be
That's
honest.
okay. Do you have a kink? And again, this is honest, but is there anything that you do kink shame?
That I kink shame?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anybody who does race play, but I've heard it exists.
Oh, yeah.
And I discourage that.
Yeah, the trans femme, the same kind of trans femmes who can early in their careers, in their pre-transition eras, do definitely fetishize this idea of like the white emasculated sissy girl in opposition to like black men. I mean, snow bunnies. It's snow bunnies. Basically.
Yeah.
So that definitely exists among a disturbing amount of trans femmes. I like to think that when you go T for T and meet other trans people in your community, bitches get the fuck over that shit. But how true that is, I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. What about like DDLG stuff, like fetishes that like play on age? Obviously not with like any actual like pedophilia or shit, which is fucking illegal. But like fetishes that play on age like that.
Honestly, like a lot of them, it seems like they got it down. Like they know what they're doing. I don't know. Like
Age players, you mean?
yeah, or like I don't know their business. Like I trust them. I don't need to look into that. I think I'm okay.
Okay. So yes, king shame race play. No king shame age play.
Well, okay, should I kink shame age play?
Well, that's the debate, isn't it? I
Well,
mean,
what do you think?
I tend to say no to kink shaming, like people who are age players who are like cosplaying being underage, basically, as adults. But I do think it at least crosses some social barriers and is perhaps worthy of a deeper conversation. Like, what's like lolly, like depictions of actual genuine children through porn.
Yeah, like some of it is weird
because then it's like the barrier of being an adult who is regressing myself back to a certain age is taken away, and you're just depicting porn of a person who is underage at that point. I know this debate is like pretty fervent online and divides a lot of people, but I don't know. I think like lolly is kind of weird.
I think it's weird too. I don't know. I feel like the age players I've seen are very conscious. Like it seems like they've worked it all out and stuff. I don't know. Like go off. I don't know.
Have you ever been in a situation where you were with people who were age playing sexually?
I have not. Have you?
Oh yeah, several times. I mean, I fucked dolls.
I don't know. I guess I don't know if I would engage in that myself. I would feel kind of weird.
Well, yeah, obviously that's a different question, whether you kink shame it versus, whether you engage with it directly. I can't really say I've ever engaged with it that directly, but I have been with people that, like, I hooked up with them in a sense that did not involve any age play, and then when we were together with their dom, it's like suddenly they're age regressing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting here like, so different. Wow.
I mean,
you're all of a sudden your baby.
Yeah, but like I feel like a part of that is like becoming stupid is like a kink thing, like bimboification.
So true.
And like, pet play, like it's all about like becoming absolutely stupid.
Yeah, and dependent.
Yeah.
Is another big one.
So like I kind of get that. Same with like I can't get too much into this, but SysCon. I
was gonna bring that up, and then I remembered.
I had
someone.
Yeah, and she's very happy.
I will say, longtime Sissy Allegations followers. This is a confessionary moment. This is a little treat for anyone who listens this far into the podcast. Longtime fans of Lavender will know that my old Instagram bio used to be the internet's big sister. And that was because that had actually genuinely nothing to do with SysCon, which I wasn't even that aware of at the time. It was just because I'm a bad influence who's passing along good taste and hard drugs to a lot of women in my wake, so in a way that made me the aesthetic of the mean, toxic, but also will ride for you older sister spoke to me. And so I made that a part of my personality. Until it became controversial because people would make the jump that it was SysCon. And then I took that out of my bio. And since then have been in situations where I engaged in SysCon and it was cute and I liked it. And I can't say who, because it's two like of my friends that have super big public platforms, but there are still two girls I know that I met through the internet in my big sister era and still am really close with that both call me big sister when they talk to me. So I have no room to step on the SysCon shit.
So like you like big sister, but you don't like mommy.
No.
They're kind of, but aren't they kind of analogous a little bit?
No, not at all. Because mommy is like, mommy comes with the implication of caretaker, It's not just wisdom and experience, but the responsibility to take care of you. And my vision of big sister is the kick you while you down so you figure it out and come back stronger.
I think this is because like you're white and I'm not fully white, so that must be what big sisters are like, because my bigger sister is like
kind of mommy light,
motherly. Yeah,
I mean, I was more sort of speaking on I'm a big sister. I don't have a big sister, so that character was more just coming from a societal image that I have of the responsibility of older siblings to be a guiding light to both good and bad things, like you give your little sibling in a hypothetical, like you bring them to a party and they drink there or something, but you also, teach them something in the process. You teach them the cadence and poise of growing up, and you like help them engage with bad things in a safe way. Like that was my vision of the being, the internet's big sister or whatever.
Okay. That's cute. Still pretty white, but that's cute.
I am not beating the white allegations, so I will take it as a certified white woman. I will continue to be the internet's white older sister. I don't think putting white older sister in my Instagram bio would actually help clear up much of the controversy.
Actually, I think that's worse.
This is a great podcast.
Yeah.
Part of me thinks we could have talked about misgendering kinks wall to wall for a full hour.
I'm exhausted, honestly. I don't think I can do it anymore.
I gotta do some research, talk to some experts, point me in the direction of your favorite misgender kink T-boys. If you're listening to this, I got a little cloud. I'll reach out to them because I want to know. Like, I'm genuinely curious in the sense that, like, I'm going to call my friends who do the Radio Free Use podcast where they analyze sex stuff just like this and see what they have to say about it. Anyway, hopefully it won't be 2 months before we make another podcast. Do you want to say what the next one is going to be?
Is it our guide to bottoming?
Unless a surprise guest shows up at the last moment and we record an impromptu episode 13. I think...
Who is that?
Episode 13 is going to be the Brain Frot Guide to Bottoming.
Okay.
Something to look forward to. Because I think the Guide to Topping is quickly on the way to becoming our most listened to episode.
The thing about the guide to topping is it's basically the guide to bottoming also. So
No, I have much more to say.
Oh, okay. Well, we don't have any tops to give the perspective.
Ain't that the fucking truth? But that's okay. That's why we can come back as experts. The Guide to Bottoming is going to be like educational, you know? Like it'll be like academic. Because
technical.
Yeah, of course. We're peer-reviewed bottoms. Both of us.
Well, I'm becoming more of a switch now.
I feel like you've been saying that on podcast episodes for almost a full year. When will the transformation be complete?
The journey is never over.
Okay. Good night from Lavender.
Bye.
See you next time.